Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're looking at 20 of the most seductive dances ever performed on Strictly.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 20, Ashley and Pasha's Samba. Given Ashley Roberts' dance background, contentious as it was, we were prepared for her to steal the show, especially when she was paired up with Pasha. This samba absolutely didn't disappoint, with the duo dancing to Hot Hot Hot, which the performance certainly was. There was even more glitter and glamour than a usual Strictly performance, but what do you expect from a former Pussycat doll? Ashley was so phenomenal that you hardly even noticed Pasha. But perhaps that was their detriment, since they were very nearly eliminated that week. It wasn't very technically complex, but it did cause the temperature to rise in the ballroom. Number 19, Sam and Nikita's Jive.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll.
The Time Warp isn't the sexiest song in the world, or even the sexiest song in Rocky Horror, but you can't deny that the costume change halfway through Sam Quek and Nikita's Halloween performance reached boiling point. It really wouldn't be Rocky Horror without corsets and suspenders, and they finished the song with some lifts and risque poses. They were undoubtedly one of the most memorable and most Halloween-y performers that week, and that managed to keep them safe despite getting some low scores. It's certainly a sexier song than the theme song to the Addams Family too. Number 18, Helen and Gorka's Couple Choice.
To understand the way I am, mein Herr. A tiger is a tiger, not a lamb, mein Herr.
We always look forward to Musicals Week, and there were some big classics in the lineup this year, including Chicago and Fame. Perhaps if Molly and Carlos hadn't done a Charleston to Honey Hot Rag, they would have got the sexiest crown that year. As it stands, we have to go with Helen Skelton and Gorka Marquez, who performed Mein Herr from Cabaret. Fans will know that this routine is traditionally performed with a chair, and Gorka stepped into that role, letting Helen shine as Sally Bowles. They almost got a perfect score too, only losing 1 point across the board. Number 17, Matt and Aliona's Rumba.
In my eyes, I go wild on my mind. I can see anything, 'cause this love's got me.
We don't doubt that a lot of viewers at home were watching only for Matt Baker from Blue Peter this year, and he very nearly won the programme, coming second in the 2010 series.
Baby, I'm too lost in you, caught in you, lost in everything.
This Rumba was hot from start to end, enough to make you wonder whether the infamous Strictly curse was going to rear its head. But no, it was just part of this exceptional performance.
I can't sleep, I can't think, just think about the things that you do.
They scored very highly this time, unsurprisingly getting an 8 and 3 9s, and if it wasn't for a certain other couple, who we'll be getting to later, these two would have easily won the whole series. Number 16, Pete and Jovita's Cha-Cha. Too sexy is too right, as Pete Wicks and Jovita proved when they danced to Too Right, said Fred's 90s classic. Pink PVC shouldn't look as good as this, but it absolutely works with the colourful early 90s aesthetic.
Love's going to lead me. Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
The women in the audience were going wild for Pete as he showed off his moves, with Jovita blending in with the other pros they had as their backing dancers. Yes, all eyes were glued to Pete from Towie and those tight trousers.
I'm too sexy for your party. Too sexy for your party.
They actually scored the lowest of everyone that week, probably because the dancing wasn't very complicated. But it was mesmerising. Number 15, Kara and Artem's Argentine Tango. Just who was it who beat Matt and Aliona at both skill and sexiness? It was, of course, Kara Toynton and Artem. They had some of the best chemistry of any couples we've seen take to the ballroom, bringing out this scorcher in the finale. The studio audience loved Artem's lifts, but the real test of a tango is in its infamously complex footwork. But as to be expected from any Strictly winners, they pulled it off, making no mistakes as far as we can see, though we aren't the judges. They got 38 out of 40 and it was well deserved. Number 14, Karen and Carlos's Rumba. Former lioness Karen Carney took to the dance floor in 2025 alongside Carlos Gu, dancing to Celine Dion in Icons Week. They were doing another rumba and really brought the romance, with a lot of praise going to Karen for stepping out of her comfort zone of football to try dancing. After all that smolder, they only got 28 points, with a lot of fans thinking the judges had been way too harsh. But sometimes it's harder to stay slow than it is to speed up, and Claudia liked the routine. So does anybody else's opinion really matter? We were still fanning ourselves at home.
Baby, think twice.
Number 13, Gemma and Aliash's Show Dance.
Underneath the city lights, there is a world few know about.
Christina Aguilera was on the roster as Gemma Atkinson's Show Dance in the 2017 final. Beginning on a small stage, they had no choice but to stay up close and personal, made all the more fiery by the burlesque theme. When the pyrotechnics kicked in halfway through, we knew we were watching something red hot. Was that a special effect or just the heat coming from them? This was actually their lowest scoring dance of the finale and the lowest of the 4 show dances, with 37 points. But you'd be hard pressed to find anyone who thinks it wasn't the sexiest that year. Number 12, Rachel and Pasha's Salsa. Would a list of sexy Strictly moments be complete without a showing from Rachel Riley and Pasha Kovalev? They're perhaps the most well-known couple to come out of Strictly, and over a decade later, they're now married. This was hardly surprising to anybody watching at the time though, with chemistry through the roof during their performances. Never mind the fact that Riley was still married for most of the competition. Though they'd be imminently eliminated in Halloween week, this salsa from week 2 was as impressive as it was racy. They couldn't keep their hands off each other, whether they were on camera or not, clearly. Number 11, Kara and Artem's Rumba. What's sexier than a tango? Yet another rumba. This one an earlier dance from Kara and Artem. judges did say going into the semi-final that they wanted Kara to express more emotion through her dancing, and they certainly got that, with a deeply romantic, sensual rumba. Neither of them put a foot wrong, literally, scoring 39 overall with this scorcher. Alicia Dixon put it best, calling them mesmerising and magical, something it's hard for anybody to disagree with, except for Craig, who gave them a 9 out of 10, ruining their chance for a perfect score. Is nothing sexy enough for him? Number 10, Spoonie and Ola's Cha-Cha-Cha. Almost every year on Strictly, there's one couple who makes a surprise early exit. Back in Series 4, we weren't ready to say goodbye to DJ Spoonie, who left the competition in Week 7. Spoonie was the first celebrity to be partnered with professional dancer Ola Jordan. With her catsuits and her clever choreography, Ola fast became a favourite within the British public. Her very first dance was a cheeky cha-cha to the Tom Jones classic Kiss. The fun, flirty routine showcased Spoonie's natural rhythm and gave Ola the chance to strut her stuff. Number 9, Jay and Aliona's Jive. When you think of the jive, sexy is probably not the first word that springs to mind, but in 2015, Jay McGuinness changed all of that. For Movie Week, his pro partner, Aliona, devised a dynamic routine inspired by the diner scene in Pulp Fiction. The choreography was fast and furious, but Jay made it look effortless. The reserved The Wanted star was often criticised for holding back, but the nonchalant vibe of this particular dance suited him down to the ground. His performance was confident, controlled, and undeniably cool. It may not have scored a perfect 40, but we give it 10 out of 10 for sex appeal. Number 8, Danny and Oti's Samba. Danny Mac narrowly missed out on the Glitterball trophy in Series 14, but this Samba in the final became the dance of the series. The Hollyoaks star was partnered with Oti Mabuse, and she gave him some fabulous routines. The samba is the dance of the Brazilian carnival, and this charismatic couple definitely brought the heat. Helped along by atmospheric lighting and a hypnotic rhythm, Danny and Oti held audiences enraptured with their skill and chemistry. The dance had an energy and an intensity that was exciting to witness, and both dancers looked like they were enjoying it as much as we were. Number 7, Rachel and Vincent's Rumba. Rachel Stevens and Vincent Simone had so much chemistry on the dance floor, it's a surprise that the Strictly curse never struck.
Something deep inside.
The pint-sized pairing had a great connection not only with each other but also the music. Their Week 9 dance to Paul Weller's You Do Something to Me definitely fell into the category of what Bruno liked to call a raunchy rumba.
Throws me back again.
The routine scored 3 10s and got the judges hot under the collar. The couple repeated the dance in the final, gaining another near-perfect score.
Something deep inside.
Number 9, Mark and Karen's Argentine Tango. Audience favourite, the Argentine Tango, was first introduced to Strictly in Series 4 and quickly established itself as one of the show's sexiest dances.
See him surface in every shadow.
Cricketer Mark Ramprakash took up the challenge in the semi-final and he set the bar high. Like Jay McGuinness, Mark often struggled with the performance aspect of Strictly, but in the Argentine Tango he really took command. Dancing to Tina Turner's Goldeneye, Mark exuded a powerful confidence and sensuality. He embraced the character of the Argentinian gaucho and led Karen like a pro. It was a great routine and scored the couple one of their highest marks of the series. Number 5. John and Johannes' Rumba. John and Johannes were the first all-male pairing to take part in Strictly and became a real success story. The audience took the couple to their hearts and they stormed through the competition with one brilliant routine after the next. However, the Rumba was the real breakthrough moment.
I know that the spades are the swords of a soldier.
It's too easy for a couple of the same gender to fall into the trap of dancing like platonic best friends. But Johannes didn't take the easy route, and for the Rumba he choreographed a beautiful routine full of sensuality.
That's not the shame.
It wasn't raunchy, but it was tender and romantic. The couple told a story through their dance, and the judges applauded their emotional connection. Number 4. Simon and Christina's Argentine Tango. Professional dancer Christina Rahanoff knew how to choreograph a sexy routine. Her Rumba with future husband Ben Cohen was full of chemistry, but her Argentine Tango with Simon from Blue is definitely our favourite. Traditional music usually works best for a tango, but Moulin Rouge's remixed version of Roxanne is the one exception to the rule. The sexual and dramatic tension built throughout the number, highlighted by the lighting and the music.
Roxanne, you don't have to wear that dress tonight.
The steps were danced with skill and precision, and the couple held their connection and the mood throughout. The whole performance was electric. Number 3. AJ and Kai's Couple's Choice. The introduction of the Couple's Choice is still a controversial topic among Strictly fans. They're essentially show dances, aren't they? Save them for the final! However, among a sea of average, there are admittedly a few gems. AJ and Kai's dynamic contemporary routine to Janelle Monáe's Make Me Feel is one dance we're glad we didn't miss out on. The memorable number had exciting choreography, chemistry that jumped off the screen, and a nod to that Sid Charisse scene in Singin' in the Rain.
There's nothing better. That's just the way you make me feel.
Strictly's fabulous lighting team struck again, creating a moody atmosphere that took the dance to another level, and the table prop was used to great effect. Plus, AJ looked fierce in that green dress.
It's so good, so it's just the way you make me feel.
Number 2. Rose and Giovanni's Argentine Tango. We could probably include any Giovanni dance in this list, just by default. The Italian pro has had some talented partners, but he finally took the coveted Strictly crown in 2021 when he was paired with Rose Ayling-Ellis. As Rose is deaf, she relied on counting at first and later on the movement of Giovanni's body. This created a powerful connection between the pair, which gave their dances an extra edge. Rose's Argentine Tango was her most magnetic performance. Set entirely to traditional music, the dramatic controlled routine was heavy with sexual tension and showed a new, sultry side to the EastEnders actress. Number 1. Kelvin and Oti's Rumba. Kelvin Fletcher was roped into Strictly at the last minute, a replacement for the injured Jamie Lang. He had less time to train than the rest of that year's contestants, but he didn't need much catching up. Kelvin burst onto the screens with a sexy samba that got the British public hot and bothered, and he just kept getting better. From his Jailhouse Rock to his take on Gaston, every routine was loads of fun. Then in week 4, he gave us one of the best male rumbas the show has ever seen. He had the hip action, the intensity, and an iconic song to dance to. Oti looked unreal, and the storytelling and connection between the pair had the judges all shook up.
Anytime she goes away.
Which routine got your heart racing? Let us know in the comments.